Where's Meg? Philip, where's Meg?
Oh, she's just over there.
Come on, Meg. You can.
She's come.
Good. Now, Sue and I really appreciate your presence. The happy couple to be's, Philip's brothers are going to have a little word to say. I hope not too defamatory, but we'll see. So, over to you, Sandy.
We changed the order.
You changed the order. Well, we're
Yeah.
Thanks, Nick. All right. So it's great to see everyone here to celebrate Phil and Meg's engagements. Very happy for you guys. I'll start with Phil. Growing up, Phil walked around with a big head on his shoulders. It's not a metaphor. It was a whopper for a while, at least until his body caught up. As Phil's older brother, I like to think I've taught him a few things, but I'd like to talk about some of the things that he's taught me. Number one is an appreciation for our parents. Recognizing that mum was right and that dad might actually have a point sometimes. Which is important to hear, but not exactly what you're looking for when you're going to your brother to vent your frustrations on things. But, you know,
I'm very glad that.
in hindsight, shoplifting from large corporations isn't really immoral. Because of the way they rig the financial system against the working class. I also learned how much fun it is to be an atheist. We flew down to Melbourne together and stood up for the atheist convention in 2012. It's good fun. We had a lot of fun and a great conversations with extremist Christians and Islamists protesting outside with signs like Christopher Hitchens will burn in hell forever. That was good times. He also taught me the most annoying sound known to humankind. It's literally the last thing you want to hear when you're playing a really intense game of FIFA, only to have a goal scored against you in the dying seconds. For that person to just get to their feet, like get right in your face and just go, "Boo!" He got this sound from his amazing group of well-known friends who he really doesn't deserve. Phil also taught me the power of how to say no. One day we got home from school with the house to ourselves and we'd sat down to watch TV. A while later we hear the front door slam. Just hear the footsteps coming along. We're literally just glued to our seats, frozen in this kind of anxious agony. Just footsteps continue. Not even looking at each other. We're just staring at the screen, trying to soak up the last few seconds of television before the inevitable, because we know what's coming. Nicholas! Philip! Could you turn the television off and put the clothes on the light, please? I'm sort of just about to sort of sheepishly get up and maybe get on with it because I know what's coming. And Phil just turns to Mum and just goes, "No!" So much confidence. I just sort of looked at him and I was like, wow, he's brave. So on that kind of brave notes, when my older brother Sandy decided to go with Alex when he entered high school, changing his name from Sandy to Alex, I thought, yeah, good call. When Mum instructed us around the end of primary school to call them Mum and Dad instead of Mummy and Daddy, as we had been, I was like, oh, thank Christ. Pip, however, thought that life on the Northern Beaches wasn't enough of a challenge, and chose to brave high school with a name straight out of a Charles Dickens novel. He chose to ride that storm all the way to university. When he finally changed his name to Phil, I kept his wishes, but at some point the word got out and I started seeing homemade memes on Facebook by American girls referring to him as like PP Tum Tum. We did well to keep it quiet for a little bit.
I lasted like a year. It was amazing.
I didn't say a thing. I was like, it's Phil. It took me a bit.
I gave it away. It was bad.
You'll notice the agents of change that I've mentioned don't include Dad. He'd have been happy for us to go through high school reciting classical poetry and singing old Scottish folk songs to all of our dwindling friends.
Still Eyes fan.
Yeah, it's fan too. Oh god. I first met Meg at a transvestite comedy show in Sydney.
Of course you did.
Yeah, what an introduction. It was a night of great laughs and good conversation and absolute certainty that she couldn't be a Tory or a Trump supporter. So I was, very relieved. In fact, Meg and I both have an affinity for similar politicians. Me for Bernie Sanders and her for Jeremy Corbyn in the UK. These are both people who stand up for what's right, even when it's unpopular. Losers. We like losers, basically. We share the same fatal flaw that we love building up our hopes for a better future to have them smashed into pieces and ground into the mud. But this speaks to her sense of empathy and morality and her ability to think independently. Certainly not a bandwagon sort of thing that you would do. Meg has a real great sense of fun and loves to come up with interesting games and activities that get everyone in a good mood. I was thinking about trying to show you guys some footage from Christmas in New Zealand of her chocolate game. Everyone's got to try it. You get Super 8s, crazy. After 8s, just like thin chocolate, put it on your forehead, and you've got to without using your hands, get it down into your mouth, and it is one of the funniest games I've ever played. Hear me now, quote me later. That's a great Christmas game. So, it always, always gets everyone in a great mood. And that's how I see them together. Having great conversations, with plenty of humour, and really complementing each other so well. So I want to wish you both so much happiness for the future. Welcome to the family, Meg, and congratulations.
Cheers.
Well done.
Alrighty. To us, Meg couldn't be a better match for Phil. They really complement each other. Meg's a fantastic cook and Phil's terrific at eating. Meg's on the ball with great ideas for recipes and Phil's really good at following instructions. In New Zealand, when they had us for Christmas, they worked seamlessly together in the kitchen. And their Christmas dinner brought together the best of both worlds. Meg's culinary expertise and Phil's portion sizes. But they're a really impressive couple, both throwing themselves into new challenges. In New Zealand, Phil was getting sent to court with minimal experience to defend clients who were clearly guilty of some really horrific crimes. But Phil defended them like a champ. And the way Meg's handled working on her PhD, first remotely from New Zealand and then throughout lockdown in Melbourne, we still don't really understand what it's about, but we'll agree it's very impressive. I do wonder what their arguments are like though, in being like a lawyer and a psychologist. Sure, like Philip can argue to the death, but that doesn't mean much if Meg can read minds. It says a lot about their relationship, the way they've negotiated the last few years, being stuck in New Zealand, waiting for a visa, then going through lockdown in their Melbourne apartment. But they've really seemed to have flourished through this. In New Zealand, they'd be off to a different winery each weekend. And during lockdown, Phil would send us a weekly photo update of the latest cooking creations, like amazing dinners and desserts that they both made. And it's honestly been really surprising to see how domesticated and refined Phil has become.
That's surprising.
Yeah, you can polish a turd. But most importantly, Phil's found a friend. A friend he shares many interests with, and who can appreciate and handle his rugby obsession, which is a lot. I used to share a room with him, so I know what it entails. Every time we sat down as a family to watch a Wallabies game, I'd have this feeling of impending doom, knowing what was in store for me at the end of the game. he'd bully me into playing knee rugby with him. So Phil on his knees, me on my feet, running into him, and getting tackled. It was very.
It was fun.
We enjoyed it. That's subjective. It was a very exhausting and predictable exercise. Running into a brick wall again and again, and on the very rare occasion I'd get past him to score a try on the bed, I'd know there'd be a little bit more shoulder in the next time. It's the same every time I watch a Wallabies game. I knew how he'd get after watching those games. He'd be all amped up, probably sweaty. I'd come into our room after brushing my teeth and he'd be there ready to go. He's less physical these days, but he's still rugby obsessed, so thanks for taking that on, Meg. It's clear to us how happy you guys are together and how well suited you are. So Meg, it's great to have you as part of the family. Yeah.
Alright, this speech was longer. Caroline got her hands on the first draft, and in her words, it was awkward and not funny. That's all that's left. These will be quick. So, even though it's an engagement party, Meg, you've been part of the family for a long time, and it's a big group of people, and there's some characters among us. We've got Kathy, husband, Uncle Bert. But through the ups and downs of life, and there are some ups and some downs, this is a really supportive group. So very happy to welcome you to this group. And with Phil, I would say one big thing to say about Phil, and it's a testament to the people who are here, his friends, that he's a very loyal friend. And so for most people, if you're friends with Phil, you're friends for life, and that's a pretty good trait for a relationship. So Phil, I love you. Congratulations, and congratulations to you, Nick. Welcome to the family.
Oh,